Okay, so now you're thinking, oh, these message box things, they're real easy to deal with. And yes, they are, and they're very handy. But now you're thinking, well, it's really limited what you can do with them. Well, actually, there's quite a bit you can do with them. So this is just a basic standard message box with an OK button, all right, and as well as a prompt. Okay, but what you can do is you'll notice that the default key. Okay, so let's back up. Now notice, in fact, I'm going to start right from the get-go here. As soon as I start typing message box and the open bracket, you'll see all this stuff here which tells you what you need to do. All right. So what it says is you have to have a prompt, and the prompt is as an object. So in our case, we're going to be using strings at this point in time. All right. You can change the buttons. All right. The default is VB OK only, but we can actually change that, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And also, you can change the title. And again, so these two things here, the buttons and the title, are optional. All right. And it actually returns a message box result. So you can actually figure out, if you give them multiple buttons, you can tell which button they're actually clicking on. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in the prompt. Press the OK button if you want to continue. I don't know, that sounds like something that you might find in a program, and I'm going to make that OK. All right, so now I've got that. When I push a comma, you'll see now it's going to tell me, see how this bit's highlighted and these bits aren't? That means this is the bit that I'm on. All right, so if I start typing VB, and you'll see I've got all these different types of buttons, and in this case I actually need to have an OK button because I'm saying, hey, you need to press the OK button. I'm going to give them the VB OK cancel, and what that's going to do is it's going to give them two buttons on their message box. Surprisingly enough, OK and cancel. All right, so I'm going to push the comma, and now there's a title, and I'm just going to say, how about user input required. Let's make that a lowercase n. All right, so let's just see what happens now. You'll see this is the prompt. Press the OK button to continue. This says there's going to be two buttons on it, and this is the title, user input required. So let's just make sure that you understand where those bits go. And whoops, that's not what I meant to do. All right, so there's my input box. So this code actually equals this input, this message box. So there's the title, user input required, which is the last string you put in. Press the OK button if, oh, apparently I misspelled you, sorry about that. If you want to continue, all right, and again, that's the prompt, which is the very first string, and then VB OK cancel. All right, now, at this point in time, it doesn't actually matter which button I press, okay, because we're not actually catching whatever it is that's thrown back to us, the response. So what I can do is, again, we have to store responses. Whoops, I gotta, oh no, this is going as is, sorry. I can't talk and pay attention at the same time, apparently. What am I doing? So dim response, I'm creating a variable, and that variable is going to hold whatever key is pressed, whatever button is pressed by the user. Okay, so it can only be VB OK or VB cancel. So what I can do now is I can check to see which button has been pressed, because you know how to use conditionals. So I can say if response equals VB OK, then I'm just going to console dot write line you pressed OK. And the other thing you can do is you could say else if response equals VB cancel. Okay, so any buttons that you have on it, you just write VB in front of the title on the button, the text on the button, and that's pretty much it. So I can say console dot write line you pressed cancel. All right, let's see if it works. So if I click OK, oh, you know what's going to happen? You could pause the video there and see it, but what we need to do is we just need to pause it there. Console.read, and we'll just leave that for a second. And so now, I know this video is getting long, but look, when I press OK, it says you pressed OK. How about that? And let's see what happens when I click on the cancel button. Oh look, you pressed cancel. So that's how you tell what button, what response you've got from the user, and then you can respond to that either by canceling the operation or going on to the next thing, whatever it is you need to do. Cool? All right, so go on to the next exercise. Good luck.